Today on MTG Unpacked, we're cracking open another one of these challenger decks for 2019. That is Deadly Discovery. So this is a black-green deck, also known as Golgari. So let's take a look at what we get here. Exploit the value of creatures that trigger powerful effects when they hit the battlefield. Find the right answer to every threat and bury your opponent in 2-for-1s until their resources are exhausted. So we get a 60 card deck, 15 card sideboard, deck box, and spin down life counter. Alright, so let's check it out. And if you have not seen the other challenger decks 2019 or 2018, I'll pop a link up to the playlist in the corner and you can check that out. These are going for about 30 bucks each, or I think at my LGS I picked it up for 100 for all four. So pretty good deal. Let's take a look at the spin down. Yep, an M19. I know we're getting a lot of different variety of die here. Okay, so we get a divider, and this thing talking about challenger decks. So go and play with your challenger deck at Friday Night Magic at your local game store. We got the sideboard cards and the main deck here. So let's get stuck into it. We'll start off taking a quick look at the mana base. Pretty sure I know what we'll find, but let's get stuck into it anyway. Okay, we start off with Memorial to Folly. So it enters battlefield tapped. You can add black to your mana pool for 2 and a black, tap, sack Memorial to Folly, and return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So we get 2 of those. Next up we get a Golgari Guildgate, enters battlefield tapped. You can tap it for black or green. So we're going to get 4 of those, yep, as expected. Swamps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Forest, 8 of those. Alright. And let's take a look at the main deck here. So we get a Mythic Planeswalker Vraska Relic Seeker. That's a tongue twister. Legendary Planeswalker Vraska, 6 loyalty for 6 mana. Her +2 is create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with menace. Her -3 is destroy a target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap. Sack this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And her ultimate -10 is target player's life total becomes 1. Alright, that's pretty cool. Pop that over there. Then we get a split card, Find and Finality. So Find is a sorcery for 2. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Finality is a sorcery for 6. You may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. Then all creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn. So yeah, you would want to have the big creatures, which I'm hoping we will see here. You get 2 of those. Next we get a rare. This one's actually from Dominaria, so along with that Vraska Relic Seeker, those will be rotating out in about 6 months, so the standard format rotates about once a year. Alright, so Woodland Cemetery enters battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp or a forest. Tap for black or green. So we get 2 of those. Overgrown Tomb. Okay, so we're getting some more lands here. Tap for black or green. Again, as Overgrown Tomb enters battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters battlefield tapped. Okay, now we're back to the regular cards. Another rare here. This one is from Rivals of Ixalan. That'll be rotating out later this year. Jadelight Ranger. Creature Merfolk Scout. 2/1 for 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, it explores and it explores again. So this mechanic is reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, then put the card back, or put it into your graveyard, then repeat this process. Alright, so some nice card draw there. 2 of those. Llanowar Elves for mana ramping. So we get probably 4, yep, 4 of these guys. Next up we have a Merfolk Branch Walker, creature Merfolk Scout, 2/1 for 2 mana. When it enters the battlefield, it explores. So we talked about exploring a moment ago. We get, let's see here, 4 of those. Okay, complete playset. Next up is Wild Growth Walker. Creature elemental 1/3 for 2 mana. Whenever a creature you control explores, put a +1/+1 counter on Wild Growth Walker and you gain 3 life. And this guy is from Ixalan, so he'll be rotating out as well. We got 4 of those. Yeah, a lot of Ixalan stuff here. This is Seeker's Squire. Creature human scout 1/2 for 2 mana. When Seeker's Squire enters battlefield, it explores. Okay, so we're doing an awful lot of exploring here. We get 4 of those. Ravenous Chupacabra. Creature beast horror. 2/2 for 4 mana. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Nasty little beast. Look at that guy. So we're getting 3 of those. Alright. Plague Crafter. Creature human shaman 3/2 for 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. Just 1 of those. Next we have District Guide. Creature elf scout 2/2 for 3 mana. When District Guide enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card or gate card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay, 2 of those. Golgari Find Broker. This is a creature elf shaman 3/4 for 4 mana. When it enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so that's good to dig things back up from the graveyard. And then another one from Dominaria, The Eldest Reborn. This is a saga. So as this saga enters, and after your draw step, add a lore counter. Sack after 3. So on 1, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. On 2, each opponent discards a card. And 3, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So you could even steal your opponent's planeswalker. That seems pretty good. So we're getting 3 of those. Cast Down, some nice removal here. Instant for 2 from Dominaria. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Okay, so we're getting 4 of those. Okay, so that's it. Apparently, I was expecting to see some more larger finishing creatures, maybe a Carnage Tyrant or something, but let's see what we have here in the sideboard. So we start off with Arguel's Bloodfast. This one is from Ixalan. Legendary enchantment for 2. You pay 1 and black, pay 2 life, draw a card. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, you may transform Arguel's Bloodfast into the Temple of Aklazot's legendary land. You can tap it for black, or pay, or tap, sack a creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. Okay, so a bit of life gain there, but you have to be like way down there. So we get 2 of those. Duress, sorcery for a single black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. So some nice removal here. Picking out your opponent's hand. We get 4 of those. Golden Demise. This is a sorcery for 3. Has Ascend. So if you control 10 or more opponents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. This one's from Rivals of Ixalan. So we're rotating out. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. If you have the City's Blessing, instead only creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. So you'd want to save that one up until you have the City's Blessing. We get 3 of those. Reclamation Sage. Creature Elf Shaman 2/1 for 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. So that's why it's in the sideboard. If you are coming up against artifacts or enchantments, you'll want to swap this into the main deck. So we just get a couple of those. Kroll Harpooner. Creature Insect Warrior 3/2 for 2 mana. Has Reach and Undergrowth. When it enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target creature with flying you don't control, and he gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Then you may have Kroll Harpooner fight that creature. Okay, So he gets beefed up when he enters based on what's in your graveyard, and have him fight a, what does this say, flying creature. Alrighty, so one of those, two of those, murder! Instant for 3, destroy target creature. Simple but effective. Okay, so there we go. So that's talking a lot about creature destruction. Yeah, this seems to be one of the weaker decks. I'm not seeing any big finishing creatures. I would hope that there would have been a Carnage Tyrant, but there wasn't. So I think green-black was sort of big around the time Guilds of Ravnica came out last year. And Assassin's Trophy was the next big thing. What I would do to upgrade this, I'd probably chuck in a Vivian Reed Planeswalker. Maybe another couple of Raskas there, because one, I think we just had one. That doesn't seem like enough. Yeah, we just got the one Vraska Relic Seeker. And of course, who can forget the Carnage Tyrant? You need some of those in here. So I think that would be good. Maybe a few Assassin's Trophy, but I'm not sure that that is that useful these days. If you really wanted to go big with this, you could splash blue, go for a Sultai build, and chuck in a Hydroid Krasis. But then, you know, things are getting pretty expensive at that point. You're probably looking at over $100 to build that up. So maybe not such a good idea if you're on a budget. I would probably prefer to look at one of the other Challenger decks. If you want something that is more competitive, this is probably the weakest of the 4. So let me know in the comments what you think. Are you planning to pick this up or any of the other Challenger decks? And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for more Magic the Gathering unboxings, and be sure to tap the notification bell to be notified as soon as new videos are released. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.